Have you heard about Wiggle? Wiggle is the island's first female sexual wellness store, taking our pleasure, desires, and sexual health seriously. Founded by a wife and husband team who had a desire to deliver something better, Wiggle has one of the best selections of toys, lingerie, lubes, and other sexual wellness essentials you could wish for, from hand-picked brands like Bijou Indiscrets, Satisfyer, Lelo, and more. Visit www.wigglecy.com to learn more. The Mamamoo podcast is also supported by Shroom Bar, Clarity Organic Coffee, Serenity Organic Cacao, and Flourish Organic Carob Blends. Your wellness ritual in a cup, mushrooms, adaptogens, and nootropics. Check them out at shroombar.life. This episode is part of a special podcast series brought to you by the Kateryna Biloruska Foundation, empowering youth and supporting families. Hello, I am Eleni, and this is the Mamamoo podcast, a podcast that was created in 2019 and aims to give a voice to the women and mothers of Cyprus. On this show, we discuss a variety of topics, ranging from politics to parenting, with one sole purpose, and that is to empower anyone who engages with kids, whether that's parents, guardians, organizations, teachers, coaches. The aim is to give knowledge and share information that will help understand our youth better and hopefully help us raise healthy kids, mentally and physically. Today on the show, I'm chatting with a wonderful woman, Stephanie Nicolas, who has over 12 years of experience in the sport industry and specifically in the sport for development and peace sector, which means that she uses sport for conflict resolution as a way to dismantle barriers associated with xenophobia and inequality and integrate minority groups into society. She was the internal operations manager for PeacePlayers Cyprus, applying basketball as a tool to bridge the divide between communities in Cyprus. When the PeacePlayers program ended, she founded United Sports Cyprus in 2023. Today, she's on the show to talk about her work, how she develops social projects for young people with difficult backgrounds, the challenges teenagers face, and what youth empowerment looks like. Now, on with Stephanie, on with the show. Stephanie, welcome to the Mamamoo podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I've been creating content, doing interviews, recording some solo monologues on sports in general lately, due to the fact that I also have 3 boys who play football. So the sports industry, let's say, in Cyprus is something that interests me a lot. So it's a pleasure to have you here. So we can gain from your experience as well. So, one of the first questions I wanted to ask you is about PeacePlayers Cyprus. And also, I think you founded in 2023 United Sports Cyprus.
Yep.
So, give me an idea of what, the philosophy behind these initiatives that you founded.
Mm-hmm. So PeacePlayers was basically an international organization that was founded by 2 brothers from the States.
Okay.
So they came up with the idea of how to use sports as a tool to kind of bridge divides between communities and bring people together. And the idea for them started in Northern Ireland, I think, where they used to play basketball. And they came in touch with like policeman. I'm not sure if it was a policeman or military from South Africa, and they told them, okay, why don't you found something in South Africa that has to do with basketball and bridging divides?
Okay.
And that's where the kind
So
of
you're talking about two countries now that had a lot of conflict.
Yeah, and there's a lot more coming up as well in the process. So in 2001, they founded PeacePlayers South Africa. They moved to Northern Ireland in 2003. I mixed up the years. Then moved to Middle East. Then Cyprus in 2006. And then throughout the years and throughout the programs that we had, they expanded in 2017 in the US.
Wow.
So the idea of Peace Players in general was to use basketball as a tool to kind of bridge divides between communities. And it was countries that had conflict throughout the years and still have conflict now. In the US, it was more about racism, gangs, and bringing youth together through different backgrounds and cultures. Unfortunately, in 2023, PeacePlayers Cyprus ceased operations due to like funding and all other issues that we had internationally.
Okay.
And that's where the idea of United Sports was born.
Okay.
So what do I do? Because PeacePlayers was not mine. So what do I do in order to kind of like keep kids coming together from both communities or all communities that we have in Cyprus? And how do I expand it even more? And that's how USC kind of was founded. So May 2023, PeacePlayers were shut. And then August 2023, United Sports.
So you
was
didn't
born.
waste any time?
No. I was in the process of like, okay, what do I do? How do I do it? And what's the process of doing everything? And I was like, okay, it needs to be done quickly because I needed to start everything in September.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea came.
I'm also imagining that a lot of kids and families that were participating in the Peace Players were suddenly left hanging, not knowing where to go and what to do.
Yes, that's correct.
Because in Cyprus, I mean, when it comes to sports, do we connect with the other side?
Without Peace Players or United Sports?
Yeah.
No. So if it's not an individual family of like, I'm taking my kid to a sports club.
My initiative, I'm doing this.
Then there's no other
It's
way
not
of
gonna
connecting.
happen.
No. And that's why I keep saying that Peace Players was, and now United Sports is the only intercommunal year-round organization on the island that does work with all communities on the island.
Okay.
And bridges the divide.
Okay. So what does... logistically, what does United Sports Cyprus look like? What does a day in your life look like? Or what does a specific project look like? What do you do? How do you tackle it? How do you move towards your goal?
A day in my life in United Sports, I will avoid it because it's like sitting in the office all day trying to do finances, trying to do logistics and all those things.
God. Are you a one-woman show?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, huh? Like me.
However, I have a good team of people that support the programs that we're doing, which is a relief because when you have people that you trust and that they want to continue on the work that you're doing, it's so much easier trying to kind of establish new things. But the idea and the programs that we basically have is one of the big intercommunal programs we have is Game Changers. Game Changers is it's a program that basically was it's Imagine. So it's Imagine shifting into afternoon programs, and it's the Association for Historical Dialogue and Research that's implementing it.
Can you quickly just explain what Imagine is? And also, if any of you speak Greek or understand Greek, I've also recorded a solo on Imagine and all the work that it does, so you can go back and find that. I'll put that in the show links. But can you just quickly tell us what Imagine is?
Imagine was basically an intercommunal project that was bringing youth together from both communities on school hours.
Okay.
So it started in 2017, and it was the schools had the choice of either doing peace education with AHDR, the Association for Historical Dialogue and Research, or Peace Players at the time that we were doing team builder and sports activities on the court.
Okay.
So the youth were basically coming in the buffer zone at the Home for Corporation in Lidra Palace, using a neutral ground to kind of bring youth together and incorporate different elements of peace education and sports and bringing them together and kind of building new trusts.
Okay, all right. So let's go back to your...
Yeah, so when that shifted to kind of afternoon programming, that's where Game Changers came alive.
Okay.
And we're basically doing monthly peace education and sports activities once a month, one Saturday a month. In the buffer zone again, and it's open to all the youth on the island.
Okay, all ages then?
From 8 to 17.
Okay.
We bring youth together and we're combining peace education with sports.
Okay.
So we're kind of like, if we're addressing stereotypes in the workshop classroom session, how do we link that with the sports? So there's a way of like interconnecting the activities together, of addressing all these issues with the youth, but not really directly addressing it, but kind of like formally and interactive with informal education, tackling these issues and kind of bringing the kids together and building trust together. And it's amazing to see the youth coming back every time, and they keep wanting to coming back, which is nice to kind of see that there's still interest and there's still the new generations, they want to be involved.
Yeah.
So they want to kind of learn about the other community or leave the past behind and kind of build something new.
Yeah.
So this is nice to see.
Yeah, but you also, you're talking about a generation that has literally grown up with social media, devices connected to their hands, lots of misinformation. So I feel often that we as adults find ourselves confused a lot by what we're seeing, what we're listening to, what we're reading. So I can just imagine how hard it must be for a 12-year-old or a 16-year-old who's, trying to find their bearings in this world and all this is going on around them. So I wanted to... Could you share some of the challenges that the young people that you've worked with have shared with you? What are their worries? What do they stress about? What challenges them?
Okay, so Game Changers is a different program. We have Young Leaders program. That's where we kind of get in more in-depth relationships with the youth.
Okay.
What we do is address a lot of issues that affect their daily life, so their their circles of influence, and their stretch zones, their comfort zones as well, that they're things that affect them throughout their daily routine, and social media, bullying, gender, stereotypes as well, also the general identity of themselves. They have issues of understanding of like who actually they are, because all this influences from social media, it's not helping them necessarily, but is not giving them easy way of understanding of who they really are.
Because it's chaos.
It's complete chaos.
It is. It's chaos. It's a big black hole. And when you're at such a tender age and you're not really sure of what you like, who you like, what you want to do, which is absolutely normal. We've all been there. Then, you get to the point where you're literally confused. Yeah.
Completely confused.
Okay. So one word that hasn't come up so far, we've only been recording for 11 minutes, but it's bound to come up, is racism and xenophobia. So what I would like to know is, through these programs that you do, these projects that you do, how does one combat racism and xenophobia?
So, okay, how do we address this in a more... The way we do it
because you've also got to do with kids as well, so you're not talking to adults that are fully developed and understand.
The way we do it is not really addressing it directly.
Okay.
The fact that we're bringing youth from different backgrounds, different cultures together, and their main goal is young leadership. It's special needs, is intercommunal sports and peace education programs. Just the idea of bringing them in the same space together, having a safe space together, and talking about the same subjects or doing the same activities together, that's a small way of, not a small way, I think it's a bigger way of tackling xenophobia and
Yeah.
racism without really addressing it
Directly head on.
Yes.
Because I was going to say that I do feel, through my research and the work that I've been doing over the years, that one of the surefire best ways to tackle racism or any form of racism is by bringing these people together. So once, and we'll take it locally, Greek Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots. So once we, as Greek Cypriots, started seeing, meeting, and acknowledging the existence of Turkish Cypriots, whereas all these years, well, I'm 44, so I grew up in a generation where we thought that monsters lived over there. It wasn't even people. So as soon as you start bringing people together, you realize that there's very little that divides them. And I feel that many times with kids, because they hear so many narratives from their parents, their grandparents. You said earlier, we keep repeating history, going back to the past. They're sort of like stuck in how to go forward.
Yeah. And that's my experience as well. Growing up through the school system and all the education that we're getting is like looking at the other side as the enemy. So what happens next? I didn't want to show my ID to cross to the north.
Yeah.
My dad, the same. But sports, basketball, kind of opened my eyes more. So that's where it all started. When I started playing basketball, I was 15 at the time. An opportunity came up of like the first intercommunal camps that were happening in Cyprus. My coach told me, come, you need to take part in this. It's going to be a great opportunity. You're going to meet a lot of people. And it was the program at the time was called Davos Olympic Movement. It was founded by Alexis Liras.
Okay.
So that, and it was intercommunal again. Actually, sorry, it was bicommunal at the time. And it was bringing youth together from both communities and using the Olympic values of how to bring people together, basically. And that's where it all started. If it wasn't for basketball or Dove's Olympic movement, I wouldn't be here sitting to you right now talking about PeacePlayers or United Sports or Imagine or Game Changers or any other programs that we're doing. So
what you experienced there was quite strong for it to affect you.
So it was like life-changing in a way of like opening up my perspective and my mind in a more inclusive society as a whole. So this is what I'm also trying to offer through USC is provide a space for youth to kind of like open a bit more their eyes, their knowledge of like getting into more about societies and cultures in general. So it's not just directed into one Greek Cypriot or Turkish Cypriot or any other community that we have on the island. We're open to everybody. Let's face it, it's 2025. All countries have different cultures, different backgrounds. We need to stop racism. The fact that we're still discussing about racism, it's tragic.
I know, it is.
And instead of like accepting other people, accepting the other, we're creating even more issues than we shouldn't have.
Yeah. What would you say are the challenges that refugee kids face that are maybe different to other kids? And again, we're talking about a variety of cultures here and ethnicities.
Depends, and from my experience, it also depended from their statuses as well. So you have refugee families that are coming to our programs that their families, their parents are more comfortable with, not more comfortable, their education, I think it's higher, that they can get like a better job, that they can provide for the family. So it's easier for the youth to be open and have more free time to actually take part in these activities. What we have also seen is youth that unfortunately their families coming from lower economical backgrounds,
income
that
classes,
they have to work in order to actually provide for their family as well. So a lot of them are lacking the opportunity of being able to get some benefits from these programs, because majority of our programs are free or with like a minimal charge. So, and depending on everyone's status, we provide benefits for everyone to join in the programs. But it's difficult as well because they have to work for their everyday life, but at the same time, society is not helping them in their everyday life. So they're facing a lot of racism. They're facing a lot of difficulties because an employer doesn't want them to work, or they're working with lower
wages and salaries.
They're not legal, let's say, and they don't want them around, or they keep them in the back of their shops. So it really depends.
So
it's just tough of like
I was going to say,
out.
so I mean, yeah, even we're in the old town of Nicosia right now, and the old town of Nicosia has, well, since I remember, been a multicultural area of Nicosia. But I was going to say that, yeah, a lot of the people that we see working around here, and I would even move out of old Nicosia and go into construction, those are parents of kids that are here right now. Some of them barely speak Greek. They are singled out, unfortunately, because of the color of their skin. Sometimes it's religion that singles them out. So for a lot of these parents who are also working all these jobs, it can be more than challenging to deal with raising children in a society that you feel doesn't like you very much.
And our systems are not helping a lot, not a lot at all.
So elaborate, please.
So if you have a refugee family coming from anywhere in the world, our education system, our public education system is not supporting at all the integration of these kids in class, in their daily classroom life. Just taking them out of the classroom setting in a different classroom and just doing Greek language does not help with the integration. Is that
all they do? I always say that I need to look into this a bit more. Is that all they do?
At this time, from my experience, from what I've seen, yes.
Yes.
In class, I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, we have so many cultures, so many religious backgrounds. You cannot go into classroom in the morning and do a normal prayer as a Christian.
Yeah.
You need to be open. I don't say don't do it, but you need to be open to the other religious backgrounds that you have in your classroom. This is also about child protection or children's rights. So give the youth, give the child the opportunity, the choice of not being forced to do a prayer.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a prayer, or you want to concentrate on your own or meditate on your own when everyone else is praying? Take a step back, take a step outside the classroom, do your own thing, and then walk in again.
Yeah. Or do it in the morning with your family, though I find it highly unlikely that these people do pray at home. But, that's just my personal opinion. I know. So, you see a lot of these kids that are trying to integrate and to adapt to our, we should say, very archaic education system that's lacking.
And there's a lot of, I keep saying that we need to change. We need to change the people in the education system. We need to refresh. We need to rejuvenate again people coming in. So from what I've seen and from friends of mine that are now PE teachers in the public system is they are providing and integrating those youth into their PE classes. But it cannot be happening just from one teacher. It has to be happening as an overall idea and from the school in general. So if you're not open, if not all the teachers in the schools are collaborating together, and that's another thing, like communicate, collaborate together to create a system that can provide a more educational background to the youth, but also help them integrate into the youth. I've seen specific schools that actually do that. And it's not many in Cyprus. It's just a few schools that you have teachers that have been involved in intercommunal work, kids the same. So kids that have been in the systems older youth as well. So if you find those schools, create partnerships with them, create relationships with them, continue the work that they're doing and provide with their to their youth more opportunities. So it really depends. It varies from the people.
Would you say that through your experience with kids and sports, that a good way of communicating with them is by asking questions? Because I was going to say that a lot of times we say that when you sit a kid down and you lecture them, she's shaking her head. No. She's like, no, that doesn't work. It obviously doesn't work. And that is kind of what the education system depicts and reflects. It's that you sitting there and me lecturing you and telling you what you should and shouldn't do, what you should and shouldn't learn. So have you found that a way to communicate with kids is by asking questions instead of just telling them?
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea that we have in general. I mean, what do you want? What do you want to learn? What do you want to expand? What do you want to build on? And that's part of what we do with our Young Leaders program is we provide the space. We ask the kids, what do you want to do? I mean, recently we kind of told them part of the program is to do community projects.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to do? What do you want to give back to community? And the kids came up with the ideas of like, okay, we might want to do a beach clean. We might want to do a children's hospital visit. We want to do a donation drive and donate to families in need during Christmas time, for example.
Okay.
So those are just the basic stuff that we do with them. So, and we ask them even more like, do you want to learn more about Cyprus? Do you want to learn more about yourselves or gender or anything else? And that's where the good thing about the background of our facilitators is they pipeline through the PeacePlayers programs. They started as young participants, took part in our leadership development program. They became coaches. They took part in Erasmus Plus exchanges. So they've been around a lot of they've been exposed to a lot of this activities. And now they are the ones facilitating and mentoring the youth. And you will see a different relationship with them. The younger they are, the better relationship as well they have with the youth because they're also asking them questions. What do they need? They're supporting them a lot. So the fact that you're giving youth a space, a voice, you can create more connections and more powerful elements coming out of programs like this. Because let's face it, if it's the youth that's going to be the next generation, it's not going to be me, it's not going to be you, it's not going to be my teacher who's 60 years old.
Yeah.
So we need to provide them with a space to kind of like advocate for themselves, but also for their own communities at the same time.
And also, I was going to say that I know, and I would like you to confirm this if you can, that getting kids involved in community work at a young age, whether that's giving back or helping in any way, actually reinforces that community idea that I think we all have innate. I mean, it's in us. We know that we should band together. We know that we're stronger when there's more numbers of us. So as you just said that, you've got kids who started young and now they're coaching. So that kind of like confirms what I believe, that getting them involved in community work early actually expands and helps them help out and give back in many ways.
It does, and if it's just like 5 people out of the 50, it's still something. It's still someone that kind of sparks a small change in youth's mindset. And in general, I think we need to learn to give back. As a community in general, as a society in general, in Cyprus, we don't like giving back because we think people will steal our ideas, our own things. Stupid perspectives
weird
of
because,
like mindsets.
Stephanie, I came to Cyprus in 1991. I was 10 years old, but Cyprus was always like welcome everyone. Doors were open. Women in houses saying, come in, big tables, food. There was a big community of people. And it's sort of like that's dwindling away now, I feel.
I don't know if it's with society changes. I don't know if it's with economic changes at the same time. This racism and xenophobia that keeps happening.
And also the individualism as well. We're very focused on individualism.
What I enjoy a lot is when you go out of town in like small villages, you still see like the older ladies like welcoming you and offering you food, and you're being like, I forgot that this existed.
Yeah. And you know what? It exists here in the old town as well.
Actually,
I keep telling people that, there's so much demonization about the old town. Various racist narratives going on, but we actually have that village thing here. So, if you walk down the streets, you'll see that neighbors are banding together, having coffee. I think you saw them all here at the corner. They love it in the mornings. So, it's kind of there. You don't see the youth, though.
No. The youth are stuck on their phones. It's an extension of their arm lately. I'm like, stop using your phone.
They can't, Stephanie.
This is why programs like us kind of come into any program.
Anything.
Arts, sports, music, anything that takes them out of that PlayStation, out of the phone, out of the tablet, out of a TV. Will
actually,
help them a lot.
I was going to say, did you know that there are parents like me who are actually secretly hoping that the PlayStation days will come back? Because they don't even play PlayStation anymore.
Really?
They're so glued on their phones and messaging each other on social media, which is just the weirdest thing ever. Because when I was a teenager in the 90s, if you were home and you managed to get that phone call from your friend, lovely. If you weren't, then sorry, you missed it. But there are parents who are literally begging their kids to play FIFA on PlayStation and interact, because they don't do that anymore, because they are literally glued to their phones and social media and the likes and the and the videos and all that.
There's two ways of seeing social media. It's either a good thing or a bad thing.
And it is there are very good things about it.
It's the way you're using it.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of influencers, positive influencers, that they can give you a lot of space. I wouldn't say advice.
I was going to say
education.
Okay.
Space to think.
Inspiration.
Inspiration, but at the same time makes you research a bit more. Is it actually true what they're saying? I need to research it more and find out more information.
Yeah.
If you're sticking with what they're saying and do whatever they say, that's not educational at all.
Yeah.
It's not positive either. So you need to see the different perspectives, I guess, of social media.
Yeah.
That's the horrible thing of like influencing and doing those stupid things that they do on social media, jumping off balconies or
taking
challenges and things, dangerous
stuff.
things. Yeah. That a lot of kids are seeing it as fun.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, they're making money out of it, so why shouldn't I be making money out of it?
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be the way that they're thinking, because nowadays is like, how much money am I gonna make so I can make myself a bit more richer, I guess, or
wanted,
a bit more, so
attractive. It's all about quick money, isn't it? Find quick ways to do something.
It's the way that you're trying to see a lot of things. For me, social media, it's about learning about different countries, cultures, educating myself, but also researching a bit more of like, is this actually true?
Yeah.
With AI now, you don't even know
scary
if it's real or not. And I'm like, well, what I'm seeing, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I need to look into it a bit more.
Yeah.
So this is where the youth mindset needs to start kind of like not working, but kind of be critical about things that they see and learn about things that they see.
And also what we mentioned earlier about seeing everyone out, the old biddies here drinking their coffee at the coffee shop, and saying that we don't see youth anymore because they're on their phones. At the same time, though, Stephanie, I was going to say that when you do get the odd chance to see a group of youngsters hanging out or hanging around, and I'm going to try and take this to boys versus girls as well, to see what your experience is on this. Is that you see a group of boys on their bicycles in a corner, and they're scary. Or you're thinking, what are they up to? They're probably troublemakers. And I have a 14-year-old son who, is glued to his phone, but at the same time, he does take his bike and he goes for rides around. It's like every time I'm with some friends, especially if they're wearing black and they have hoodies on, someone will always think that they're up to no good.
Yeah.
So a lot of the kids often think, why would I even bother going outside when I am considered to be a good boy or good girl because I am locked away in my room on my phone and I'm not bothering anyone and I'm not creating any trouble?
Oh, man. This is, again, a stereotype that we keep having from our own society. Let's face it, black is black. Everybody's wearing black clothing. It's fashion now.
But it's always been cool.
It's always been. So I don't understand. At the same time, it's like me. I see a group of boys in my neighborhood, running around. During Easter, for example, I saw a huge mass of boys dragging a bin so they can light it up during Lambraja. And I was like, well, you're up to no good at the same time. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, you're out of the house. You're doing something as a group.
Exactly.
And I was like, what are they up to? And then one of them turned around and told me I was taking my dog for a walk. Yeah. And he was like, oh, miss, I didn't realize that your dog grew up so fast. I'm like... out of nowhere, yeah. So it's kids that if you give them the open space to interact with them, they respect you.
Yeah.
The fact that you see them as a gang or someone that they're up to no good, that's when they kind of build up walls.
But also, they'll go and do it. If you're expecting them to be bad,
they'll do it.
They'll be bad.
Yeah. You will have the ones that are going to be the crazy ones and do bad things at the same time, but it's teenagers. If you don't let them do, they won't learn from things that they do. You shouldn't be putting stereotypes to these youth, either girls or boys, or even seeing I've heard this before, a group of girls sitting around with their phones out and their lipsticks and their nails and blah blah blah, and they're up to no good, attracting boys or doing those
scandalizing the boys
things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're just hanging out, playing on their phones and gossiping about people.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't.
That's literally what they're doing.
So you shouldn't be stereotyping them because of the way they dress or the way that you think they're gonna behave.
Yeah.
And that's an issue that we're facing in our daily lives with society, in schools, in afternoon programs, in the city in general.
And it feels like the more we try to fight these gender stereotypes, and could be anything from what we're talking about now with boys all the way to normalizing stay-at-home dads while mums go out and work. It's just this huge spectrum that I feel that lately it's just it's being war is being waged against our attempts to just break these stereotypes and just create a world where kids can just be people.
Yeah.
They can just be themselves. Yeah.
We had this conversation a few days ago with a bunch of people that we were hanging out of. Things were simpler in the older days, that social media didn't exist. It's you knew that you were doing these things, or you were... how do I say it that doesn't sound like patriarchy at the same time as well. It's the boys were doing boys things, they were playing sports, they were doing their stuff, everybody was in their everyday lives, women the same. They were treated equally, they didn't have those different identity issues that we're facing now, although they still existed. But now with social media, you have even more of an open, the issues that you need to discuss, from racism to LGBTQ plus, AI plus, right? Like, even for me, I need to be educated enough to know how to
deal with it. And I think what you're trying to say is that while these may have been issues that were kind of like there, but not very prominent, now all of a sudden social media has just, it's just shoved it in your face. It's just expanded it, pulled it, tugged it, stretched it to a point where it just involves everyone right now. And, you know, simple days, we often, again, as a person born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, we love to say, us who are caught between the millennials and the Gen X, I think, if I'm not getting that right, that life was simpler. We had a really good childhood. Cultural issues were always there. Racism was always there. Homophobia was always there. But it just wasn't a problem. I mean, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't...
It wasn't such a big of an issue, let's say.
It wasn't creating
more issues than problems.
A lot of problems. So, yeah, I see what you mean. There were a lot of shit happening. The world wasn't a perfect place. It wasn't. We've never lived in a utopia. No. But it just feels that right now what our kids have to deal with is a bit different. So since we did talk about genders and boys and girls and, you know, men and women, do you notice that boys face different challenges to girls lately in the environment that we're living in? So I was going to say, I see a lot more girls getting involved with sports. As I said, I've got 3 boys who play football. I love the fact that I'm seeing girls in those teams now. I know that they won't probably get the opportunity to go far because football is always considered like a man's thing. But I see them there, and I see the inclusivity, and I see the diversity. And I see that my boys don't think it's weird in any way that there are girls playing football. Like, to them, it's just, there's 2 girls on the team. Yeah. Like, they don't even care. It's not an issue to them. So, yeah, would you say that boys and girls face different challenges, and especially when it comes to the leadership part of things?
There's different ways of seeing this. It's either challenges from their parents, challenges from providing them the same equitable opportunities, I can say. I wouldn't say equal, because you might have equal men and women working at the equal numbers, let's say, but it's not equity. It's they're not getting paid the same prices, the same wages. I think depends a lot. So there's a lot of, let's take it one step at a time. So from the family's perspective, there's a lot of families nowadays, even before, that they saw that sports, football, for example, or basketball, or let's say football and basketball were the main ones. They were not so feminine-like for them to go and play sports. So they preferred to take girls into ballet and dance and all those things. They took me to ballet. I just ran out the room.
I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh at that.
I just ran out of the room.
You've got to love them for trying.
Yeah, they did. But then sports came into my life, and it opened up even broader, like, opportunities for me. So it depends a lot. So even for a boy, the parents want them to go and play football. How do you know that the kid would love football?
Well, I was going to say,
love art.
You mentioned ballet and football. I said that girls are playing in football teams now, and how lovely is that? Are we seeing boys in ballet classes?
No. No, not really. Not. I mean, there are some boys.
There
but
are
some, but not a lot
some
of
you
them.
could probably count them on one hand.
Probably, yeah.
But that's what I mean sometimes when I say, again, as a mother of boys, I see that, the role models for girls, that picture has expanded and it's big now and it fits, different body types and different career options. You want to be a mum, you don't want to be a mum.
And that's the good thing about social media.
And that's the good thing about social media. And bravo, exactly. That is one good part of social media. But then on the other hand, you have these boys who, they can't go into a more feminine occupation.
They can.
They need to
They're
be
afraid of what community and society might say. About
exactly,
them, which is again coming back to the stereotypes with that. We are
and the family,
and the family as well,
and how easy it is for a big macho alpha male dad to say, "My son doesn't play football; he dances."
Yeah. And I've seen that another thing, a good thing about social media. I don't know the name of the boy. He's so into dancing. Ballroom dancing, modern dancing, ballet dancing. I think he's from the States.
Okay.
And the dad is like doing what the boy is doing. So he's supportive of what his son likes.
Yeah.
So this is parents. You need parents like them to kind of give the kid what they want. It's like you're giving them the space and the voice to kind of develop as their own self. So if you don't let them try things out, how will they will feel closed off. They won't know who they are. They're going to have mental issues later on, which is things that we are seeing now.
Yeah.
Why do we think that youth are facing so many mental health issues?
Yeah.
It's because of things like this,
that
you're provocative of against those ideas and scenarios that you're that you're kind of going through on a daily basis.
So it's a huge part of battling xenophobia and racism and gender stereotypes is us parents challenging our beliefs and what we grew up with and allowing that wall to come down and let our kids get on with whatever it is that what they want to get on with. So I did have two last questions to ask you. So I was going to say, what advice would you give to parents who are raising either future leaders or... Sorry. And there's a little trolley guy going by. And we've got the window open here. Okay, so what advice would you give to parents who are raising future leaders or future athletes?
Give your kids the space to grow. Provide them with they want to do dance, let them do dance, let them try it out. They want to do sports, let them do sports. They want to do football, for crying out loud, let them do football, men, boys or girls. You need to create a safe environment for them to be able to, you need to trust them at the same time. So if you don't put trust in your own kids and you don't let them learn, then they won't improve, they won't develop throughout the year. So if you still keep controlling them on what they're doing, or you need to study at this time, you need to study from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. Do you think your kid is actually studying from so many hours?
Yeah.
They're studying for like 30 minutes, then they're on their phone, drawing on a notepad, or doing whatever they want. So you need to be able to provide them with a space and not take away things they love.
Would you recommend, Stephanie, that they try different sports and different areas? Because a sports psychologist said this to me the other day. She said, all the statistics and all the research shows that kids before the age of about 10 or 12 should try a multitude of different...
It's this is the mentality that the US has that we don't have is... From a younger age, you have the kids into sports.
Okay.
They need to try different things.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be just football, just basketball, just volleyball, just tennis. They need to try all these elements. And then you see where they love it, where they're like into it a bit more.
Or where they have a natural inclination as well,
And then if they want to, keep supporting them. If they don't want to, don't push it. Because if you push it, also... a big percentage of burnout on athletes in Cyprus as well, and in general worldwide, there's a lot of burnout from younger ages because parents are pushing the kids and they're not providing them with a safe space. And also at the same time, if they don't like being competitive, don't put them into so much competitive sports.
Okay.
Just take them. And that's another thing that we have an issue in Cyprus is all the clubs and teams are competitive.
Yeah.
You don't have something that is not competitive.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Ago is for fun. So if you can go and have it as a more recreational, go to Ago. Don't take them into team sports. Those are the more competitive ones that cause a lot of burnout as well.
Tell me about it. I've been to, I don't know how many football tournaments in the last month and over the last few months. And I said to this sports psychologist I was talking to the other day, I said, I looked around and what I saw, it just seemed like child abuse to me.
Mm-hmm. How many hours were they playing in the sun?
Oh, from 8 in the morning until the last game was like 8:30 at night.
Thank you.
And waiting in between, and also hearing parents and coaches screaming and shouting. And
another issue that we have, parents being, oh my God, this is another element of.
All you sports people love the parents. I can tell you.
Oh my God. No, but also.
I don't like the parents. I'm a parent and I don't like them.
So the parents need to understand that they're not coaches.
Exactly.
They're the kids' parents.
Yes.
You're there to support them. Don't yell at them that because they didn't shoot the ball or they didn't score. Support them. Nice try.
Stephanie, I have witnessed with my own eyes and ears a dad sitting behind his son, the goalkeeper, directly behind him during a game and telling him exactly what to do.
No, that's a big no-no. And if I was the coach, I will kick that parent out.
And, I do know that a lot of coaches and there's a lot of talk about not allowing the parents
that's a good thing
to be there anymore.
It might seem aggressive, but
I know,
it is a good thing.
I know. As a mother who loves football and I love watching my boys play football, I often leave these tournaments and these games feeling very upset. So while I'm there to watch my boys play, that's not what I'm doing. I'm there and I'm just trying to drown out all the noise and
that the other parents are
and also try to avoid those kids that you see in the football field when they do something, they make a move or they kick the ball or they do something, and they immediately turn around and look at the parent to see what the parent's reaction is. Just kills me.
No,
it breaks my heart.
It's ridiculous and it's frustrating.
It is.
Because you're not supporting your kids.
Exactly.
You're supporting your own ethics. It's not even ethics anymore.
I don't know.
It's just you yelling at someone.
Lost dreams. Many of them
Yes,
say that I used to play football, and because you didn't manage to do this as a profession, you're trying
pushing your kids. It's just a nightmare.
All right. So last question. What advice would you give to teenagers who are just starting to find their path and want to feel more confident? So we spoke about the parents. Now let's talk to the teenagers.
The teenagers, the minute that they find something that they're interested in, that they want to learn more about, jump into the opportunity of do not be hesitant to kind of try new things. We've seen in the past that kids holding back and not trying new things, it's keeping them away from new opportunities. And it's that, address your voice and your issues and talk as well to your parents. I've seen cases as well from our kids that their parents were taking away from them something that we're interested in, a piano lesson or a basketball practice. And the kid
as a form of punishment.
As a form of punishment because they didn't do well in school. And I'm like, you need to talk to your parents. You know that. And they were telling me that this is a way of me kind of releasing myself. So it was a free time for them. So you need to discuss this with your parents. The fact that you shouldn't be fighting. That just yelling would not create anything. It won't do any good. So you need to have a proper discussion of do you want me to succeed? Do you want me to be free at what I'm doing and learning from what I'm doing? Then give me the opportunity to do that. If you see, give me a deadline, for example. If you see that I'm not coping or if I'm not improving in anything because I'm offering that, then I will take a step back on my own. So you need to create a space for them, not a space, but youth. They need to go out there. They need to raise their voices. They need to discuss things. They need to test new things out. They need to try new things. If they don't go out and expose themselves to new things, then how will they know if they like something, or how will they know if they're going to learn something new?
Yeah.
And if they're just stuck on their phone,
Yeah.
then you cannot do anything.
And
with
I
it.
mean, the goal often for us parents is to raise independent people. People who can go out and do their own thing. They've experimented, they've been thrown in the deep end, and now they know how to adapt. And we often don't do that. We're, the helicopter parenting and the overprotective parenting. We're often so worried about their physical states that we ignore their mental health states as well.
And the mental health is even more important nowadays than the physical one.
Exactly. We need more confident teenagers. And I know that sounds a bit weird,
but
because,
we needed it.
teenagers often do, they show you that they're confident. Sometimes it's that overconfidence that's masked as
coping mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. But, the only way for teenagers to become more confident is for us to allow them to.
Yeah. And seeing from experience, I've learned throughout the years to read people, and I'm good with reading a lot of the youth and people in general. So they're using this as a coping mechanism. They definitely have some issues in the background, behind the scenes, that we need to address. So how do we address them? How do we kind of get it out of their system? How can we find more information in order to support them? And this is what we do. This is what we do with United Sports, is how can we learn more about them in order to improve them and provide them with a space, that kind of creates more confident youth.
So, Stephanie Moore, if someone is listening right now and is interested in contacting you or participating in your projects, how can they find you? I will put everything that you mentioned in the show notes so you can find.
Search us online, United Sports Cyprus. We have a website, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything.
All right.
So anywhere you see United Sports Cyprus.
And parents can contact
can contact us. There's phone numbers and emails through that. All the information of the programs that we're doing are on our website as well. And just follow us on social media. That's where all the updates and stuff that we're going to be doing in the upcoming months and years, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully they're going to be posted on. So you can see what we do with our youth, special needs teams, intercommunal programs.
Okay, thank you so much. And I really do hope that this will be something that will last for years.
Thank you.
And thank you to the Biloruska Foundation as well for organizing this podcast and getting us together. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this, Stephanie. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and good luck with the future podcast as well.
Thank you.